Welcome back, King of Logic. Checking in. Hey y'all, I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of March. I need y'all to help me reach my goal. Hit that subscribe on your way in. You will not be disappointed. So I want to do a quick little reaction video to a video I saw of the so-called queens, cocktails with the queens. They had a few choice words for this woman who goes by the Prophetess Tiphani Montgomery. For those of y'all that's not aware of her, she calls herself a prophetess. She's a female. I don't know where she's from. She sounds like she could be from up north, but anyway, she's a very, very spiritual person from what I can hear. I've listened to a few of her videos. I like what she said so far. And she had a message to people who were attending the Beyonce concert, because if you've been paying attention, you know that it's been a whole lot of, people going crazy about this Beyonce tour. Some women are going into their savings, it's breaking up relationships. Like the Beehive is a real thing. People actually worship Beyonce. Like literally, they worship this woman, and it's sick. It's disgusting. I used to listen to a few Beyonce songs back in the day when she was a little bit more innocent and not into all this demonic stuff. Yes, Beyonce has sold her soul as well. 90-something% of all big name artists have sold their soul. You can't get to that level they at without selling your soul. But anyway, that's another conversation for another video. I just wanted to react to the washed up old ladies who got their little show, Fox Soul. Vivica Fox and Selena Johnson were the worst too. Lisa Ray didn't really say a whole lot. She just lost her mom, so I ain't gonna really say anything about Lisa Ray. Lisa Ray, she usually don't be going in like that. It's usually Vivica who is the most, just nasty and disrespectful. She's a very miserable human being. She's miserable and she's done, and she knows she's done. But for those of y'all that's not aware, there is a actual church out in San Francisco that actually had this thing called a Beyonce Mass, where they actually sing Beyonce songs in the church, and they actually make the service about Beyonce. They literally worship her. This picture you see is people's hands reaching out to her like she's a god. They really do worship this woman. And Prophetess Tiphani was not wrong in what she said. But here's the Beyonce Mass if you don't believe me.
San Francisco's Grace Cathedral looked and sounded more like a concert than a church for a first of its kind Beyonce Mass.
It was amazing. It was one of the best spiritual experiences I've ever had.
It was fun. It was uplifting. It was also really rejuvenating.
People wrapped around the side of the cathedral an hour ahead of time to attend the blockbuster Mass. Normally, the Wednesday night Vine service has 50 people in attendance, but with Beyonce in the house, this service had 750 people.
We didn't expect this response.
Reverend Jude Harmon says Grace Cathedral put the invite to the service on Facebook, and it blew up.
We thought it would be kind of a small, exploration as a community about what it means to lift up Black female voices.
I use Beyonce as a central figure to have these conversations about the realities that Black women face.
Reverend Yolanda Norton is the brain behind Beyonce Mass and gave tonight's sermon. Norton is a professor at San Francisco Theological Seminary and teaches a class on Beyonce and the Hebrew Bible. She explains that she's using Beyonce's wide appeal to bring a diverse group of people together.
I know people think that, we're worshiping Beyonce. None of that is true. This is a way to just have different kinds of conversation.
Norton says nothing is scheduled yet, but this will not be the last Beyonce Mass. In San Francisco, Kate Larson, ABC 7 News.
You're not worshiping Beyonce, but you literally call it a Beyonce Mass. And for those of y'all that don't know, the Catholic Church has what's called Mass, which is their, name of their church service. I think they do it on Saturdays. I'm not a Catholic. I am a God-fearing person. I'm just not Catholic. And this is Tiphani Montgomery's warning for Christian people attending Beyonce's concert that caused all the controversy.
You about any of you who are going to Beyonce's concert, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. How dare you call yourself a Christian? I don't don't care what pastor you got that is okay with it. I don't care what pastor you got that think it's cool. I don't care what pastor you got that's singing along to their song because they want some clout. Why you think that man called himself Jehovah? It was short for Jehovah. When a witch has a coven, it's normally a small thing. Witches' covens are normally 3 to 7 people. When it becomes thousands, it's called a hive. Y'all are part of that lady beehive? And you call yourself a Christian? May the dealings of the Lord come upon you. You think this is small stuff. You think you not going to that lady's concert is not an initiation. You think you not going to that concert is not a ritual. You think you not going to concert is not a gate. That entire concert is a gate. How dare you call yourself a Christian? I'm telling you, may the dealings of the Lord come upon any Christian with a platform that is using mixture. This year, may the dealings of the Lord come upon you. This year, may the dealings of the Lord come upon you. Let me say something. There is a righteous indignation. God is tired of this. I'm telling you by the Spirit of God. He is tired of his people being in mixture. He is tired. You being in mixture is the same thing as you cheating on your wife. You being in mixture is the same thing as you cheating.
Now, Beyonce is a very beautiful woman. She's very talented. But that's the type of person that the devil can use the best, because something that looks good and sounds good is more likely to lead you astray than something that looks ugly and scary. So a beautiful woman or a good-looking man, a well-spoken woman, a well-spoken man is the perfect person to lead their people astray. Tiphani Montgomery was exactly right in her, rant there. If something is ugly and scary, you're more likely to run from it and not fool with it. Satan is very, very clever in how he operates. We all know that. They say the eyes are the window to the soul. Look in Beyonce's eyes on a lot of her photos after she got with Jay-Z. I believe Jay-Z was the one who initiated her to the dark side. Her soul is gone. Her eyes just look empty. She looks like she's an empty vessel. That light that she used to have is gone. Just go back and look at some of the pictures of her when she was part of Destiny's Child and she was younger. She looked like she was much more full of life. She looked totally different. But here's the attack from Cocktails with the So-Called Queens.
Church, Selena, we're going to start with you. What are your thoughts on Tiphani rebuking Christians for simply supporting Beyonce?
Claudia, this is, Queens, this is the story of old. As a secular artist, we have all been targets at one point in time about our content. But because Beyonce is such a superstar and has such a huge platform, what I would like to see, my opinion is going to pretty much be all of the opinions of you all on this panel, but I'm a secular artist. What I would like to see is some of our pastor leaders, some of our prominent pastors in the community step out in her defense. That's what needs to happen, because if you don't do it, then you agree. So I need the T.D. Jakes. I need the Kirk Franklins. I need the John Grays. I need all of the people who love Beyonce, who are constantly praising Beyonce, who go to her concerts, who love on her. I need you guys to speak on it and bring some clarity, and not really, you don't have to take sides or anything I'm saying or anything like that. But I do think that the Christian community, our Christian community leaders, need to speak up about this, because that's the only way that you can debunk this foolishness. I think the way that she's coming is, I don't think it's with love. And first thing of being a Christian is love.
That's right.
And wrath comes from God. God said, vengeance is mine. It's not.
Now, of course, Selena Johnson is going to defend Beyonce. She's on that side of the aisle. We all know that. And what's so funny is she wants to invoke, you know, a rebuke from some of the more so-called prominent Christian leaders in the community. If you know anything about the Bible tells us that God is a jealous God, and thou shalt have no other gods before me. That's in the 10 Commandments. We are supposed to call out idolatry. Tiphani Montgomery did what God called her to do. She did her job. Christianity, true Christianity, is not always pretty and rosy. Sometimes you have to be bold and speak out and hurt people's feelings. And when you nice and sweet and delicate, people don't listen to you, especially black folks. We hard-headed as a people. We are a stiff-necked people, and people don't listen when you say what we need to do in a nice way. You got to talk to black people hard sometimes. That's the only way to get a lot of our attention. If she would have said it all nice and rosy, it wouldn't have got nearly the publicity that it got. Now, Tiphani Montgomery is kind of hot right now. I didn't even know who she was until after this video where she went after Beyonce's concert, but I'm glad I ran into her. We shouldn't deify none of these people. Watch her just like you watch everybody else. Keep your eye on her. She could be a serpent. I hope she's not, but don't trust nobody. Always expect people to fail you, because every man, every woman is imperfect. Only God is perfect. She invoked T.D. Jakes, John Gray, and Kirk Franklin. T.D. Jakes, I call him T.D. Snakes. He's a mega a church. He's part of what they call a mega church. He's a mega church pastor. T.D. Jakes is about money. T.D. Jakes has spent the overwhelming majority of his career serving as what's called a prosperity preacher. He'll mix in a little bit of scripture, but most of his sermons are about the Lord is going to bless you. The Lord is going to bless you. Sow your seed. You know, your day is coming. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. That's how they do, because they all about the dollar. It ain't about salvation with a lot of these preachers. So Selena Johnson, you can tell where her salvation is at, where her walk with God at is basically non-existent. If you sit here deifying T.D. Jakes and John Gray and Kirk Franklin, you already messing up. These guys ain't no true men of God like that. John Gray has had multiple affairs against his wife. I forgot his wife's name, but that's irrelevant. This man done cheated on his wife multiple times. I remember one time to get her forgiveness, he bought her a Lamborghini truck. Yeah, you can look it up. This man has had multiple affairs against his wife. Another pastor, she didn't mention Jamal Bryant, but he's another one down here in Atlanta. Took Eddie Long's place. Jamal Bryant had a whole baby on his former wife, Giselle Bryant. She still live up there in the D.C. area, but he moved down here to Georgia. And I think Jamal Bryant is originally from that Baltimore area. There's a video that went viral of some cats running him off the block in Baltimore. They said they don't even want him around there because they knew he was a pimp. He a hustler. And this is the same dude who says that God is pro-choice. He supports abortion. What else did this man? He advocates for the church to start growing marijuana. He went on V103, a local radio station here in Atlanta, and said he wants the church to start growing weed. I hope we run his ass up out of Georgia. He don't even need to be down here, because Atlanta sure don't need no more false prophets. And then Selena Johnson had to mention your boy Kirk Franklin. Now, I don't have no proof, but man, this dude, he's just been looking more and more moist over the years. I think dude moist. I'm talking about moist. Dude just looked like a real fruity dude. I don't know what happened. He didn't come out like that. He really didn't. I done heard stories about how some of these pastors be going to these all-male conferences and stuff be going down out in Vegas. I don't know all the details, but that's just what I heard. So Selena Johnson want to sit up here. You can't tell me that dude ain't moist. I'm sorry. But anyway, about to wrap the video up. If you are looking for John Gray and Kirk Franklin and T.D. Jakes to chastise Prophetess Tiphani Montgomery, You part of the problem. You unconscious, Selena Johnson. Everybody is just not conscious. Everybody's just not spiritually aware. It sounds good to call yourself a Christian, but a lot of these people talking that ain't really about their life. And the video wouldn't be complete without the icing on the cake from the booty licker herself, Vivica Fox, whose face don't even move when she talks. She done been shot up with so much Botox.
Well said, Vivica.
Tiffany, you cloud chasing heifer.
There you go, Lisa Ray.
All the way 100. How dare you? You know, girl, you trying to get attention, but you was at the concert less than 5-6 years ago. So, you know, girl, bye. Put that where? Back there.
That's right. And last but not least, Lisa Ray.
Stiff and stuff.
Okay, so yeah, Vivica Fox, she doing what she do best. She's, like I said, she's miserable. She's done. She's washed up. Her life is done. I mean, she's still living. I don't wish nothing bad on her, but she's never going to be able to get the type of man that she wants at almost 60 years old. She never had any kids. I expect nothing less than a personal attack from Vivica. But that's the end of the video. Beyonce, like Tiffany said, practices witchcraft. It's a proven fact. If you just pay attention, you can see for yourself. Prime example, you can see the demonic creature on her little outfit. It's called the Baphomet. The Baphomet is this false god that the elite worship. It's like supposed to be half male, half female. It's a really satanic looking statue. It's just a weird, wicked. This is just what they do. A lot of people just aren't aware because they're not in that world. But the idol worship, the demon, you know, the sacrifices, it's all kind of crazy stuff that go on. Tiffany, the prophetess, got it right. Salute to her. Salute to y'all for watching the video. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.